Well, ladies and gentlemen, with the NFL picks for Week 15, 2023, Uncle Claude back again. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was wondering what I would see the Queen be yet again. It's good to see you. NFL picks were not bad. In fact, I have to look up my thing again. All is well. Thank you for asking. I'm just grateful to be here. Me and the young lady. In fact, we're trying to get a little bit of rest. We've had a very busy few months. I'll just say it like that. Things are starting to look up, and God is good. I am grateful for that. And thank you once again for all of your prayers and positive thoughts. We are so grateful for that. Can never thank y'all enough out there. Oh, you're off for 8 days, man. Oh, Lord. But enjoy yourself. Oh, man. I thank you so much for everything, Michelle's daughter. Thank you so much. And with that, I will start my NFL picks. It's still cutting in and out. Okay, I think my internet is acting wacky. That might be why. I saw that little pulse there, but I will definitely work on that. Alrighty. That's the internet. But I will start with my NFL picks right now. Hey, there are 3 games. And it'll start here in Cincinnati. I can't stand the Bengals for obvious reasons, being a Steeler fan. And the Bengals will be taking on they're going to be starting Kirk Mullins at quarterback. They benched Josh Dobbs. It was a feel-good story, but listen, there's a reason that Josh Dobbs over the NFL. Of course, he started with the Steelers. Then he was somewhere in Jacksonville for a cup of coffee, Arizona, Cleveland, and now Minnesota. And he starts to go to the long end of the bench there. Mullins is not very good. The Vikings have a decent team. The Bengals are just about there. They're slightly on the outside looking in. And they're at home. I love the Bengals here. I've got Cincinnati winning 20-10 over the Minnesota Vikings. Next up, my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. And I will be doing a video on them probably later on because, let's face it, those were embarrassing losses. And they are in danger of losing 3 in a row. and they are on the road against Indianapolis. Now the Colts will be without their running back. Oh, I appreciate that. What can I say? Listen, I'm tired of losing to these guys, these backup quarterbacks. Now, I understand Gardner Minshew. I know he's a backup, but he's played a lot more than Zappy has, and I forgot the other clown. I mean, that's ridiculous. And Mitch Trubisky has to play better, too. Listen, the entire team has to play better. It's downright embarrassing how bad we've been in some of these games. And Mike Tomlin is probably not on the hot seat, even though a lot of these fake Steeler fans want him gone. I didn't hear all this when Bill Cowher was going. But I'll do another one just for the Steeler fans because I'll be here all afternoon. Now, this game, I don't see them doing so. And if you want to say, oh, that's your bias, listen, I can't disagree or agree with that. But being the Steeler fan that I am and knowing how much we need this game to keep our little playoff spot, I'm going to go Steelers 23-20 over the Colts. Next up, the Detroit Lions are at home. And they are taking on the Denver Broncos, who have been red hot. But they lost a ridiculous game they should have won. The Broncos are one of those teams I just don't get. Just when they look like they're at the cusp of doing something great, they fail miserably. Russell Wilson he's either been very good or he's been god-awful. And in big spots, he seems to learn how to fail than succeed. Now, Jared Goff and them lost a bad game against the Bears. I'm not going to say that I trust Goff more than I trust Russell Wilson. But at this stage, I trust the Lions more than I do trust the Broncos. I trust the entire team much better. And I trust the Lions being at home because they do play faster. They do play better. I like the Lions here 24-20 over the Denver Broncos because I understand the Lions want to also keep that outside shot of a first round bye because the way the Philadelphia Eagles have played. Listen, it's very much in doubt who's going to be the number one seed in the NFC. The Eagles have it right now. The 49ers look like they're but the Lions also have a shot. The problem with that is I don't think anybody would be afraid of Detroit. I'm going into Detroit. Now, next up, Giants have played much better football, and this Tommy DeVito phase has gotten quite crazy here in New York. The Giants went from a team that looked like they were going to be tanking to having an outside shot at the playoffs. Now, as crazy as the Saints season has been, they definitely have a shot of winning that awful NFC South. The NFC South might be the worst division in all of pro football. And it's almost sad that you have to give one of these losers a playoff berth. Saquon Barkley's been healthy. DeVito has definitely played very well. The Saints have been up and down. I know everything is telling me to choose the New York Football Giants, but I don't trust. And the Saints need this game for the division. I'm going to go with the Saints here, folks. Saints 21, Giants 17. I know I'm going to hear it from Michelle's daughter later on. But that's okay. It won't be the first time. Taking on the Chicago played very well. In fact, he has been given the keys to the offense. Justin Fields actually played very well last week. This other they're going to stick with Justin Fields or they're not. Hey, it's the trendsetter. Miss Shelley Hutchinson, how are you? Always a pleasure to see you in the chat. And wonderful job last night. That was really a good that Christmas tree deal, that was wonderful. That was absolutely wonderful. So enjoyable. It is a breath of fresh air for what's been going on because let's face it, the state of the beef sector, I just don't know. It's just up and down. I'm glad you did have fun. You deserve it. You definitely deserve it. These next 3 weeks are going to let us know whether Justin Fields is going to be still the franchise quarterback or trade bait in getting their new franchise quarterback. And listen, it's been like that in Chicago for quite some time. They swung and missed with Mitch Trubisky. I'm not sure if Fields is in the same vein as Trubisky. I think he's actually better. But I do believe the Browns are the better team, and they're at home. I like the Browns here 27-24 over the Chicago Bears. Next up, the Carolina Panthers are at home. They have been dreadful, as won only one game all season, and they are taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are not in the hunt to win that division. Now, Bryce Young has had his growing pains, no question about it. Team on the road. Carolina's not any good, I get it. But I do believe they will win more than one game. And I do believe this is the upset special. The Carolina Panthers win this game 23. I just don't think that the Falcons do think the Panthers. Speaking of spoiler, the Green Bay Packers are at home against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now Tampa Bay has a shot of winning that division. But I can't take any team with Baker Mayfield seriously. I just can't do it. There's no question about it. But we see glimpses with Jordan Love. He's performed. Now, the Packers now have seen themselves have an outside shot of getting to the playoffs. I don't think anybody would want to face Green Bay if they actually did make it into the playoffs. I like the Packers here in a semi-upset, even though they are at home. Next up, the Miami Dolphins are at home to take on the Jets. Zach Wilson is still the quarterback, but depending on this game here, along with other circumstances, of course, Aaron Rodgers is close to being able to come back. Whether they will activate him or not will depend on a lot of what happens in tomorrow. Zach Wilson played his best football ever. Not great. Their back end is good. They don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. And Zach Wilson definitely has a live arm, but unfortunately, he will throw to the other team. Now, Garrett Wilson has also played well for the Jets. The Jets have pieces, which is why the Aaron Rodgers of line is picked. Tyreek Hill is still the most dangerous receiver in pro football. Tua has played pretty well. And the Dolphins are another one of those teams that could definitely use the home field advantage. They definitely have this division sewn up. That's why the Buffalo-Dallas game is huge. But the Dolphins have to continue to take care of business, and I do believe they will do so. The Jets are going to keep it a little closer than people think. But the Dolphins are just a better team at this stage. I like the Dolphins over the Jets, 30-24. Next up, the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Patriots. If you believe what you hear, days between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. And we've seen this coming, especially since Brady left and the Mac Jones thing has fell apart. Excuse me. Now, Mahomes has not played great. And I don't know how much of the so-called Taylor I think it's done for a team when the postseason begins because they know they have really no competition in the AFC West. Unless you consider the Raiders competition, I don't. I do like the Chiefs here, 20-17. I do think the Patriots will keep it close. I think the weather will be a factor. But I think the Chiefs' talent will win out. Now, Pacheco's out, but they do have capable running backs. I think McKinnon can be plugged right in and they'll be fine. Now, here's a game that's also in the AFC South. And this is a huge game. No C.J. Stroud. He's in concussion protocol. Davis Mills will be the quarterback for the Texans. I do believe tomorrow will be a Derrick Henry game. He's going to get the ball 30 times. Rush for $150. He does that, the Titans win. A lot of injuries to overcome for the Texans. I don't see it. I like the Titans here game, but the Titans winning out. As I mentioned, by a score of 17-10. Next up will be one of the easier games. The 49ers on the road taking on the Arizona Cardinals, who have played much better under Kyler Murray. But right now, the 49ers they are firing on all cylinders. And I like San Francisco here easy. 27-20 over Arizona. The next one is the LA Rams at home taking on the Washington Commanders. Washington has been awful over the past month. The Rams have been up and down. It just comes down to the fact that I trust Matthew Stafford more than I trust Sam Howell. It's as simple as that. Now, I can tell my internet is acting a little wacky yet again. Thank you for bearing with me, everybody. Washington Commanders. Next up, the Buffalo Bills are at home taking on the Cowboys. We saw what Dallas did to the Eagles. And you know what? I love it when this happens because, see, all the Cowboy fans they're just crowing. They're just talking about how the Cowboys are back. Oh, we're going to win the division. This, that, and the third. Now, Buffalo won a big game over Kansas City. These are the games where the Cowboys fall flat on their face. And I love it. Because just when the Dallas fan is happy, think they're going to go somewhere, I do believe that Josh Allen and the Bills slap them back to reality. This, even though to me it's not an upset, is my upset special of the day. I am going to go Buffalo 31, Dallas 27. And a lot of Cowboy fans are going to be mad after that Sunday. Now the Sunday night game is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence has been such a disappointment for Jacksonville. And they've been a disappointment at home. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson has very quietly put himself right in the middle of this MVP race, and deservedly so. We know as Lamar Jackson goes, so goes the Baltimore Ravens. And I certainly trust Lamar Jackson a heck of a lot more than I trust one Trevor Lawrence. Defensive are on the road 30-27 over the Jaguars. And that brings us to the Monday night game. The Eagles have been embarrassed. And against Dallas. Now they go on the road to take on Seattle, who's either going to have Geno Smith or Drew Lock. I don't care who it is. I think the Eagles are going to win by double digits. I do not see them losing 3 games in a row this weeks. This is the lock. If you were going to bet the house on anything, Philadelphia 27, Seattle 17. And those are my picks for Week 15 in 2023. I would like to thank Michelle's daughter, the trendsetter S. Hutchinson in the green sector, and everyone who's joined me this morning. It's still the morning time, even though I've been up about since 4 o'clock. But that's another story. UncClaude signing out. Make sure to share and subscribe. Take care. Stay safe. And God bless. Take care, everybody.